Hi there, I'm Angelo, and in this video, I'll show you how to create a digital magazine flipbook from start to finish using Adobe InDesign. In this video, we'll go over how to add content to a magazine template and install a plugin to create an online flipbook viewing experience using digital publishing platform Issuu. I'll also cover how to add hyperlinks and embed video once the project is online. So let's jump right into this video and start creating. Before we dive in, I do want to share that this video is sponsored by Issuu, a great web-based digital publishing tool that allows you to quickly export a project as a PDF and view it in a web browser as an HTML5 flipbook. Not only that, Issuu also has built-in tools that lets you add links and embed video to a project once it's been published. All right, let's start by opening the template, which is available to you in the lesson files. It's called digitalflipbooktemplate.indd. If you have a look in the Pages panel, it's 5 pages. We have a front cover, which we'll focus on first, as well as 2 spreads, so pages 2, 3, 4, and 5. On this cover page, I want to add a main image, as well as the masthead to start. And the masthead is basically just the label or logo of the magazine. So let's start with the image first. I'm going to click on this frame, and you can also go to File and Place to add an image, but I'm going to drag and drop. If you open the Images folder in the lesson notes, you'll see subfolders in there, and one of them is Cover. Go ahead and open that, and this is the image we want, coverimage1.jpg. I'm going to drag and drop that right in, and then I can click on my donut here, or content grabber, and move the image to the right so I get that furniture in, and I can move it up just a bit as well. So basically I want to utilize this white space or negative space to add text, which will become our headlines on this magazine cover. And let's add the masthead next. So if I go to my CC libraries, I have mine here. It's called Home Life, this magazine, this fictional magazine. You can find this masthead in the lesson files. So I'm just gonna drag, and I want to drop it right on the pasteboard here and then drag it to the page. So I want to center it to the page. So once you see that line there, you can go ahead and release. I do like the size of that masthead, so I'll leave it like that. If you want to make it smaller, you can do that. Also in the lesson files, there's a text file called magazine content, and this is where you'll find a lot of the headlines that you can pull from and add to these frames. So let's start by adding the text to this top frame up here. This is what's called a skyline headline, and this is just another teaser headline to tease one of the stories that is inside. So I'm going to copy that text. It's called Making Your Living Space Memorable, and I'm going to paste it right in there. Now there are paragraph styles already set up in this template. You won't have to worry about setting up or formatting any text. If I Command A to select all, I'm going to my paragraph styles, and you can see they're all set up here in folders for you. So we want to focus on cover. If you don't have paragraph styles open, you can also go to the properties panel and find it here. You can see it's also there, but if you want it docked here like I do, just go to Window, Styles, and then Paragraph Styles. So in this case, I want to collapse the cover folder and I want to choose Cover Skyline Text. And you can see that that style is now applied to the top headline. Good, let's move on. I'm going to add the text to this headline next. And I'm going to paste it in here. Inspiring home decor tips to get you in the fall mood. I'm going to Command A to select all of that, go to my paragraph styles, and this will be called Cover Deck Headline. You can see it's Gibson regular 30-point, 28-point leading. Let's go ahead and start adding the other text to those text frames. So I'm going to select the next piece of text and let's paste it in here. I want to select bold and bright full, or just put your cursor anywhere in the letters or characters there. And let's make this cover subheader. Put your cursor in the next line of text, and this will be cover description. Good, let's grab the next headline and paste that in here. Put your cursor on the top line and choose cover subheader. You might have to adjust the frame a bit, and that's okay. Put your cursor in the next line, and this is cover description. Then if I double click this bottom handle, it'll make the frame adjust and snug to the text. So let's add that last one in. This is the fourth headline, holiday place settings, and I'll paste that in. Put your cursor in holiday place settings. This is cover subheader. Again, just adjust the frame a little bit, just pull it down, double click, put your cursor in the second line, and this is cover description. And then with the selection tool, just double click that handle at the bottom to adjust the frame to the text inside. So we have our text, we have all the headlines in, the main headline, our masthead, and the skyline headline at the very top. So we can move on now to page 2 and start adding the content to that page. So if I go to the Pages panel here and double click page 2, this will become our index page. So why don't we start by adding the images first? Remember, I'm going to bring over my Finder window, and now we're on spread 1. So you can see there are 3 images here labeled index, index 2, index 3, and then index image. So let's click on the first one, index image, and I'm going to drop it in this frame here. You can go ahead and do that. Grab index 2 and place it right in that frame down below. And then index 3 will go in the far bottom right frame. So we have our images in. Now we could start adding the text in these text frames that are in this template. Again, if you go back to the magazine content, you'll find all the text for this page as well. So I'm going to copy the first one and let's paste it into the first index box. And I want to put my cursor on the first line, decor trends, and I'm going to focus on index page here. And in this case, I want decor trends to be the index header. I'm going to place my cursor in the text below, and this is index description. Good. Let's go get the second line or the second index box content and paste that in. Put your cursor on the top line. This is index header. Put your cursor on the next line, and this is index description. If you have overset text, just make sure that you adjust the box, but the text should fit in these frames nicely. I'm going to grab the third index box text and paste it in here. Put your cursor on the first line. This is index header. Put your cursor on the next, and this is index description. Good. Index box 4. This is DIY decor. Paste that in there. Put your cursor on the first line, index header, and then the next line is index description. Select the next and paste it in. Put your cursor on the first line. This is index header, and it looks like that one's already set to description. And I'm going to select index box 6, which is 34 on this index page. Paste that in. Looks like that's already been formatted, and we could just make the first line header. Good. Now we're on index box 7 and paste that in, and then put your cursor in the first line, and this is index header. You might again have to adjust the frame, so go ahead and pull that down. Select the second line, and this is index description. And we'll add the text to the last frame, so I'm just going to copy it from that text file and paste it right in. And let's put our cursor on the first line, index header. Put your cursor on the second. You might have to adjust this frame as well. And this is index description. Good. So now I can double click to tighten up that frame, and we can move on to page 3. So let's start by clicking on this frame here, and we'll add our first article. I'm going to go to File and Place. And again, in the lesson files, you'll find a folder called Articles, and you'll see that these articles are in there. I want to choose Article Main, Page 3 Article Main, and click Open. Now it might come in a little funny, and that's okay. Double click and then Command A or Control A on Windows to select all the text. And let's click Basic Paragraph while holding Option on Mac, Alt on Windows to strip all the formatting from that. And now let's choose body text in the body text styles. And you can see that that will apply to the body text in here. Now I want to select the headline, and let's cut that. So Command X, and let's paste it in the frame above. And let's select that, and let's choose in the headers drop down. can see here in the paragraph styles, we want header 26, and it's going to go over 2 lines, and that's exactly what we want. Now I can go back into the text here and adjust it. I'll bring that up. And you can see in this article, I also have some subheaders that I'd like to stylize. So I'm going to place my cursor in the first one. And if I go to my body text styles, there's something called body header. You can go ahead and click that and do the same for the others. Just click the line of the header and then choose body header. And you can keep going with that. I think there's only 3 of them here. I'm just going to put this back for a sec and have a look. So right now the article doesn't fit very well. So on the side, you can see I have an additional text frame, which I want to add a pull quote inside. And at the very bottom of this article, there's something called pull quote. So I'm going to select that piece of text and cut it, and let's paste it here in this frame. You could just delete that where it says pull quote. And so I want to make up that space. I'm going to click on my selection tool and I'm going to drag this over, and I want it to sit in the very first frame. I'm going to select that pull quote and go back to my paragraph styles, and let's choose block quote. So you can see it in the body styles, in the paragraph styles, click block quote, and you can see that fits nicely. I'm going to zoom in here because I do want to show you one thing. So if you're adding a pull quote like this in editorial design, you want to make sure that it sits where you don't have a bad break like this. Do you see where the sentence starts here and then ends down here? Generally, you want a clean break, so adjust that frame so there. The paragraph ends clean, and then you get the block quote, and then the next paragraph begins, okay? And then you can adjust accordingly to make sure that the spacing is exactly what you want. I'm gonna add the image now, so I'm gonna click on that frame, go to my images folder. I'm gonna bring over this Finder window, and this is bathroom main.jpg, so I'm just gonna drag that right in and drop it. Put my Finder window back. Good, and you can notice that this also has a text frame applied to it. Do you see at the very bottom? It's pushing that text down. So if you wanted to increase that, you can do that by going to your text frame window and adjusting the bottom offset. You can see it's set to 18, but you want to make sure that this link is broken, not constrained, and then you can push it down a little bit more if you want. Okay, so something maybe 20 would work as well, just so you have some nice space between the image and the actual article there. Let's add our second article. So I'm going to click on the second frame down below. And by the way, you notice that these frames here, these text frames, have what are called column rules applied to them. And you can do that by, let me show you. If I click here and go to Object, Text Frame Options, if you wanted to add column rules, you could do that here in the text frame options. You click column rules, and you can see I have them insert column rules. I have that option selected. So that's how you would add the rules within each column in the frame. So you don't have to draw them out manually anymore. So I'm going to hit cancel, and let's focus on this bottom text frame. Go to File and Place. And in this case, we want article bottom for page 3. Click that. Again, it's going to come in funny, so Command A, go to your paragraph styles. I like to strip out all the formatting, so hold Option or Alt on Windows and then click Basic Paragraph. Now I can click Body Text. So go ahead and select the headline, cut it, paste it in the headline frame, select all of it, and this will be header 23. So in editorial design, you want to make sure that there's a hierarchy applied. Much like in any design, you want balance. So you want the top headline to be bigger than the bottom. That's why I made the first one 26 and the second 23. Let's zoom in here because I want to make sure that this all fits as well. So I'm going to place my cursor on the first headline here, the subheader, and this is body header. And you can do that for all of them here. They should fit at the very top of each frame, like you see here. And then just apply the body header to the top headline in each column. Command 0 to go to this view here. Great, so we finished the first spread. Now we can go to page 4 here and focus on that. And this will be another main image with a headline and another deck headline. So let's click on this first frame. So I'm going to go to my images window here in my Finder window. And this is main image. It's this one here. Okay. I'm just going to drag and drop that right in, and I'll move my Finder window back. So this will be the main image that covers this entire page. I'm going to click on this text frame and let's bring in the text for that. I'm going to paste it right in. This is bold and brightful, and you can see I have it over 2 lines. That's just fine. Command A to select all. And let's go to our headers folder in the paragraph styles, and we want this one here, belie headline main. I want to make the bottom word a different color than the top. So let's just select that, brightful, and let's go to our swatches. You have these swatches available in this template, and let's choose this one here, this Pantone color. If I click my selection tool and click off, that's how that would look like. So we have bold and a different color than brightful, okay? Now I have another deck headline below this, so I'm going to copy this from that magazine content text file that you have in the lesson files, paste that in. And this, if I go back to my paragraph styles, will make this header 26. So bold and brightful, 5 simple ways of creating a stunning and vibrant living space. Again, remember I mentioned using negative space in an image or white space. Utilize that space to add your text. Good, we can go to page 5 now. That page is done. And we can start adding our content to this page now. Let's start by clicking the first frame. This is where our first article on this page will go. File, place. And in this case, we want page 5, main article. Go ahead and click open. Again, it's gonna come in a little funny. Just Command A to select all. Strip the formatting by holding Option or Alt on Windows and click Basic Paragraph. Now I can choose body text. Let's select the headline, cut it, and paste it in this frame above. Select that, and let's make this header 26. Now we can adjust the text, bring that up. And again, we have some subheaders within this article that we can click, just the line itself. You don't have to select it. And this will be body header. Click this one, body header. Click this one, body header. And there's one more, I think there's 2 more, body header, and there's one here, body header. Let's bring in the image here, this top image. Again, just go to your images folder in the lesson files. We're on spread 2, and we want this one here, secondary image. You could just drag that right in there. And while we're here, let's click this one, third image, click that and drag it down below. Good, so we have our 2 images in, but again, have a look. This article is not fitting the entire space. So I'm gonna bring in another image and we'll apply a text wrap to it to have text wrap around a piece of furniture. So again, I'm just gonna go back to my images folder and let's bring over this one here, chair image. If you just drag it over and click, here it is in my loaded cursor. Now I want it to go over maybe 2 columns here. Let's drag it, something like that, and just release. Now this image does have a white background, but you're able to apply a text wrap. So with that selected, I'm gonna open my text wrap window. If you don't have that, just go up to Window and Text Wrap. And I'm gonna select this one here, Wrap Around Object Shape. Now there's just another step you have to do. I wanna go down to Contour Options and I wanna choose Select Subject. You can see InDesign's AI, the artificial intelligence, will pick up or detect the subject within the frame. Now this one's pretty clean because it's already on a white background, but we still have a problem here because it's not wrapping. So I'm gonna click on the selection tool, click that, and let's just Shift Command left square bracket to send it to the back. Now I can just maybe adjust this frame. And I'm gonna zoom in here and let's adjust the chair so we get a good wrap around it. And I might just bump it up or scale it up, hold Shift Command, that's Control and Shift on Windows. And then let's just adjust it like so. We can also increase the size of the wrap itself. Right now it's on 0, so let's just adjust that and push some of that text out. Let's make it something like 10. Now if I go ahead and move that, we'll probably get a better wrap somewhere. There it is, right there. Now again, we just want to make sure that maybe something like that. And don't worry about the lines. I think the lines going through works as well. And I can move it up and see how that looks. But you see how you're getting a better app? You're just gonna have to play around with that and see what looks best. So I think that works for now. I can adjust this, go back to my overview here, and that looks pretty good actually. So let's click on this bottom frame and add this article now, File and Place. And let's choose this one, bottom article, click Open, select all, go to my paragraph styles, hold your Option key or Alt on Windows, and click Basic Paragraph to strip the formatting, and then choose body text. Let's select the headline, cut it, paste it in this frame here, and then we can format that as well. And this one will be header 23. I'm going to bring this up, and once again, click on the first line, body header, click on the second, body header, third, body header, and the last, body header. Good, so we've set up all 5 pages in this template, and you can see how working in a template can help you work faster and more efficiently and save you time with the design process. So templates are great. Before moving on, it's important to note that you should do a save as and not save over the original template. You can see here, I have a new version called Digital Flipbook Final.indd. Now I'll use this version to upload to Issuu. First, we need to get that extension. And to do that, go up to Window and then find Extensions on Exchange. This will launch the Adobe Exchange webpage, and we can now search for the Issuu plugin. If I place my cursor in the search field here, I could just type in Issuu, and this is the page we're looking for. As of now, it's called Issuu Publish, but it's soon to be renamed Issuu. Now you can see in the upper right hand corner, I have already acquired this. You can install it. You'll have to relaunch your InDesign and it will be installed from there. So once you've relaunched your InDesign app, you can find the extension by going up to Window, Extensions, and have a look. There it is, Issuu Publish a Document. Go ahead and click that. That'll open this window here where I can publish a document. So before we publish it, I want to go to my settings tab up here. You can add public or unlisted. I do want to change this from promotion, marketing to editorial since this is a digital magazine. And I want to switch this off and change the date to the current date. Now, if I go back to my publication, you can see once I hit publish now, the link will be generated right here. So let's go ahead and do that. Click publish now. And you'll just have to confirm the content rights. So check that box and then hit confirm and publish. And you can see that it generates the flipbook and it uploads it to the Issuu platform. Now I can click this link now, open your publication on Issuu, and that'll launch in my web browser. And have a look, in this window, I can flip through this digital magazine that we created in InDesign, and it already looks stunning as is. But what Issuu allows you to do is add other elements of interactivity using their own tools in this platform. Now, Issuu does have a basic plan which will allow you to publish from InDesign to their platform. However, some of the tools that I'll be showing you in this lesson require a premium plan. And get this, as an added bonus, viewers can receive 25% off using the coupon code Angelo25. The coupon code can be used when checking out, and the offer only applies to annual plan subscriptions. Before we jump into the Issuu platform and go over some of the interactive tools, I do want to note that you're still able to make changes to the original InDesign document. So let's say, for instance, this would be page 12 and not page 10. You would just make a change or any change, go to File, Save, and then go to Window, Extensions, Issuu Publish a Document. That same window will reappear. It'll generate or update the existing PDF that's been generated. And then you'll notice down here, it says Publish Changes and not Publish Now. So if I click that, you do want to also note that if you add any links or videos prior to doing this, you just have to rename this and it'll just create another copy for you and it'll maintain those videos and links. But for now, I'm going to click on this box to approve or confirm the content rights. confirm and publish, and it will just update that now from page 10 to page 12. So again, if I open it in Issue, it'll just open in a new tab here. And you see it changes it here as well. Next, let me show you how to add links and videos to this digital magazine. So I'm going to click on Add Links and Videos. I can choose which page that I want to add the link or video to. So let's click page 1 for now. And on this page, I want to add a link to take viewers to a specific page around one of these headlines. You can see my cursor has turned into a crosshair cursor that allows me to click, drag a frame around the element that I want to add a link to. In this case, bold and brightful. Once you have the size of the frame that you want, just release, and this window will appear. I have some options up top, and in this case, I want to choose Go to Page. In the action, we have some options here: Go to Page, Next Page, Previous, or Last. We'll leave it on the default Go to Page because we want to send viewers to a specific page when they click that link. So in the page number field, type in 4 because that's the page we want to send viewers to, and click Done. Now there's one other component here. You can't just go back to view spreads or go back because that's not activated yet. So click the Save button up here. You can see that turns green to tell me that that link is now activated. So I'll go to View Spreads and go back to this view, and let's click on page 2. Now on my index page, I want to add another link to take viewers to a URL or web link. And I want to add that down below on the place setting image down below here. I'm going to zoom in. There is a zoom in option here, and then I'm just going to scroll down just so I could see the bounding box here. And again, I have my crosshair cursor, and I'm just going to click and drag. It doesn't have to be perfect. And then just release. And in this case, we want to choose web, which it's already set to that as a default. And I have a link here that I'm going to paste in, a link to a blog about place settings. So once you've pasted that in there, just click Done and then Save. And you can see that that link has been set as well. So I can go back to View Spreads, and you can see it tells you I have one link here and another here. Let's go to Bold and Brightful. That's page 4. And I'm going to scroll down a bit. And let's just say that I want to add a link around one of these pieces of furniture, such as this ottoman here. Let's just say a viewer is looking at this magazine and is interested in purchasing one of these pieces in this image. Well, you can add a link to a shopping cart or an online store. And let me show you how to do that. It's the same concept. I'm just going to click and drag around the ottoman here, release, and then let's choose shopping. This works the same way as a web link, but you can direct viewers to an online store. Now, I don't have a specific link about ottomans, so I'm just going to type in my own personal website here. So https://www.montilladesign.com/tutorials. How's that? So I have my shopping and the link. Click OK or Done, and have a look. This adds a shopping cart icon to the link, so viewers will know that it's an online store or they can learn more about how to purchase it. So that's very useful as well in this app. I'm going to go back to my zoom out, and then let's click Save to save that. So now that has been activated as well. As a last step, let's add one more link, but this time we're going to add a video to this document. So again, I'm just going to zoom in here, and let's go to the last page in the document, and I want to add a video on this image. And it's okay if it covers the entire image because that won't be the video. This will play an overlay, and I'll show you what that means in a sec. So again, crosshair cursor, start in the upper left, click drag. Once you have the frame the way you want, release, and let's choose video. Now, you can open a video in overlay, which we're going to do, or embed it with a link. So you could take a YouTube link, which I have, or Vimeo, and embed it into a project. But in this case, I want to play it in overlay. It just looks sharper, I think, in this version here. So let's click in the insert URL, and I have any YouTube link will work. So just test out any. I'm going to paste one that's related to furniture and modern furniture, and you can grab the short version of the URL. That works just fine. So once you have that, click done. And then of course, click save. And I'm going to zoom back out. And what I want to do is publish the changes. So up top in the upper right, let's click publish changes. And let's go to our flipbook. Now all those links have been applied, but I do want to do one last thing here is I want to rename this. So digital flipbook, let's call this Home Life Magazine / January 2023. This way it's more specific and it's easier to search this specific document. Now let's have a look. If I click the full screen mode, we can go through our digital flipbook that, remember, we created this in InDesign and published it right to issue and added the links there. It's important to note that the links that you add or any interactivity that you add in InDesign will not carry over to this platform. So let's test this out. If I hover over this, I can navigate to page 4 in the document, so that's helpful. I'm gonna go back to page 2. I can hover over that and you can see that link is activated. I'm not gonna click it because I wanna stay inside this document. Let's go to the next page. I can hover over this ottoman and there's the shopping cart on that link. So remember, if you wanted to point viewers to an online store to purchase or learn more about a piece of furniture or anything else that you wanted to sell, this is a great feature with the shopping cart. And then lastly, remember we added the video and you can see it's not embedded in, but if I click the play button, have a look, there is the video and I can play it right in Issuu. It'll play through. I can pause it. I can go right to the video on YouTube, but look, I can close it and go back to my document. So I'm just going to exit out. And this is a great way of creating a digital flipbook starting in InDesign and publishing it to this great platform, Issuu. Thank you so much for watching and following along in this video. Leave a like or comment below if you found this video helpful. Don't forget to hit the subscribe button and notification bell to stay up to date with all my latest content. Want to learn more about Adobe InDesign? Well, check out these videos right here and here. Until next time, take care and keep creating.